welcome back to Smithy Walks the Northumberland Coast Path, and today it's Friday 18th of July 2025. I finished here in Cresswell yesterday. That was stage 4 for me, and Cresswell was the official end of the Northumberland coastal path, but I'm doing the extra bit, making my way down to Tynemouth. For me it's still part of Northumberland. That's where the Tyne comes out and I can't walk any further. So this is going to be stage number 5. I think there'll be a lot more road walking, taking us through the likes of Tynemouth, Newbiggin, Camas, more about that one later, Blythe, Fully Bay, or Seaton just before then, and finally finishing just at the castle at Tynemouth. So that's me in my Scotland bucket hat ready for the walk, and I like to introduce myself in the same way as I do in the golf videos. So let's get going. Ladies and gentlemen, it's stage number 5 of the Northumberland Coast Path, the extra bit from Cresswell to Tynemouth, on the walk from Kirkintilloch in Scotland, Smithy! And coming out of Cresswell, heading south. And initially we've got a beach here on the way towards Tynemouth. I don't know if the tide's coming in or going out yet. I'll soon find out, won't I? But I'm just about to walk across the beach. I don't think there'll be much beach walking today. It's 20 miles I'm doing today, and I've not got a guidebook for this one because the Northumberland Coast Path, as I said, the official finish is at Cresswell. So no guidebook, but there is an England Coast Path website and there's a kind of interactive map on there, so hopefully that keeps me right if I ever get lost in this stage. Well, the weather's nice this morning, but I'm not quite sure what it's going to be like this afternoon. Showery, possibility of thundery showers, in which case I'm going to have to make an exception today in the interest of safety. Normally I just finish at the pub at the end of the stage. I might well have to do a wee bit of beer sampling and take shelter in some of the pubs further down, just in the interest of safety, of course. Don't want to get hit by a bit of lightning. As I'm walking along the beach from Cresswell to Tynemouth, may as well get the logistics done. Staying at my daughter's in Bladen last night, so it's 3 buses back to Cresswell this morning. That's the number 12 into the centre of Newcastle, then the X20 out to Ashington bus station, and the number 1 from Ashington to Cresswell. Yeah, next morning this morning. So yesterday's stage was a bit tough for me. I've had a big blister in my foot since day 1. But last night, feet into the basin full of lotions, hot water, etc. Oh, it was a delightful bathe of the feet. And then a new blister pack on last night, and it seems to have done the trick. Feet feel much better today. Still a good 20 miles to go. Let's see how it holds up. Well, it's a wee bit more exciting coming off this beach. Get around the rocks. Might have a wee bit of scrambling up there, I hope not, to get off the beach. The very day I don't bring my poles, basically because if you're going through a lot of built up areas, I tend to think if I'm walking through using the poles when I don't need them, to use the Scottish vernacular, I would just look like a pure fanny. Coming off the beach now, wee bit of a scramble up the rocks there. A little bay. There's a path here, up round. Not reached Tynemouth yet. As I'm walking towards there, there's a big, I think it's a power station at Newbiggin. I played the golf course there, and you're quite close to the power station there. While we're walking along towards the power station, that lovely backdrop. So I'm going to have a wee dig at the Northumberland Coastal Path signage. I don't know if it's better going south to north, but certainly north to south I'd say it's not the best. Quite often it deviates from the England Coastal Path, and sometimes it doubles up with the England Coastal Path. You've also got like St Oswald's Way as well. And in the Northumberland Coastal Path, it doesn't put its own signs there quite often, so you're not sure whether you're taking the England Coastal Path route or should you be on a different route that's in the Northumberland Coastal Path. So as I said, it's not the greatest. And then I've just noticed today, the official path, as I said before, stops at Cresswell when you're going south. And I'm walking along here and I've got England Coast Path signs And I've just noticed I've got a Northumberland Coast Path sign. What's that about? That's my little rant for today. I certainly think the Northumberland Coast Path organisation have got a wee bit of work to do to improve it. Having looked at my map, I have to retract my words. That's not New Biggin Power Station, it's actually Tynemouth Power Station. Oh, just look at that. I'm never one to miss those beauty hotspots. Look at that magnificent piece of machinery. That's the bridge crossing the river line. And the next destination is New Biggin, I think. Don't actually see much of the actual town or village of Tynemouth, sorry. As I'm going round the power station, look at the colour of the water. That's just going into the sea there. It's orange. Sewage City. Well, that's at least a couple of miles done, so I'm having a look back now to the start point, which is the other side of that headland over there. A couple of beaches. You can still see that orange river from the power station just out to sea there, dissipating. Funnily enough, no one on the beach or no one in having a swim there. And another beach. I'll just come round past the power station now. Beach along going towards New Biggin. I should get a wee glimpse of the golf course, one of my favourites when we come past soon. Just come up off the dunes pathway, and here's New Biggin Golf Course. This is one of my favourites. Love this course, played it twice. Get a wee bit of a drive over the dunes there from one of the tees. I'll look round over the golf course, clubhouse away down there. And this is going to take us round the coast, and the outside of the course here. Get a beach in the north side of New Biggin. Further round to the town there. On the right hand side, still get the golf course. The golf course works its way around. Clubhouse is away up there across the water. Past the golf club at New Biggin. And this is the beach, or the prom. Makes its way around it. It's like a little bay here. A bit industrial here. Doing some work on the beach, some digging. Bit of breakwater there. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing up there. There's a lot going on. So we're going to walk all the way around in the circle there to that next headland, and then make our way further down the coast. I think the next step's coming through a holiday village, one of the Parkdean resorts. There's Sandy Bay. There's quite a number of Parkdean resorts in this coast. Going along the prom at New Biggin. Out round to the right hand side, get a little cafe square there. Cafe Bertarelli. The Coble. Not open yet. I'm resisting this temptation for an early pint so far. And next door, the old ship. And this has just caught my eye out in the bay here. Tremendous bit of artwork. Can't get much closer. Just seeing that's like two people looking out to sea. I'm liking that, it's quite striking. Almost completed New Biggin Bay. Walked right round. Yeah, it's looking back. And the prom, but it brings me onto the beach now. For the end of it, the sand's a bit soft. So I need to try and find a way off the beach onto the headland. And just as I said that, there's the steps. Up we go. Out in the headland, just after New Biggin Bay. There's a look back around. You can see that kind of statue thing of the artwork in the middle of the bay. And round we go. And across that way, further south, that's the Port of Blythe. And the coast path signs are saying 9 miles to Blythe. We've got another river to cross before we reach Blythe. Heading back inland now. And the sign, England Coastal Path sign, takes us into Sunny Bay Holiday Park. And every time I've come into a holiday park I've always got lost. A bit further down now, I've nearly escaped the holiday camp. It started off when you come in there's a couple of signs, England Coastal Path, for the first couple of junctions. I thought, oh, this is good. And you come to the hub, or the main centre, and the signs just disappear. So it's just guesswork. And then head down one path and I've picked up another tiny yellow sign saying this way, and I'm about to escape. Whoa! I'm just about to escape the holiday camp. There's no security guards on here, not like Butlins in 1979. And we're free, we're out. As we come out of the holiday camp, there's a bridge over there, and there's a footbridge after the road bridge. So we come in land to cross the Wansbeck and back out again. That holiday camp there, or the caravan park, the holiday resort, whatever you want to call it, I'm sure it looked like there was a path right round the outside. It's maybe a wee bit quicker getting through the resort. In fact, they probably pay Northumberland Coast Path or the England Coast Path to take people through there, just in case they're going to stop and have something to eat or drink. That's just me being cynical. And a closer look at the Wansbeck, and it flows inland. It actually flows through Morpeth, where I was staying on Wednesday night. And we're making our way under the road bridge, then on the pedestrian bridge after that. Get the boats moored up. Coming along the side of Wansbeck estuary, having a look back as it comes out. And we spin round, getting closer to the bridge. As I said, it takes us inland for a wee bit to cross the bridge, and then back out again onto the coast. And then when we get to Blythe, we come back in again, and then out again, then out and out. We shake it all about. Just come out the footbridge over the Wansbeck, come underneath the road bridge. England Coast Path sign. Look inland, down the Wansbeck towards Morpeth. Back we come, the road bridge. The boats as the river comes out to the sea. And across we go. Take my bucket hat off for crossing here just in case the wind blows it off. Safety reasons, I'll get sunburned. And this is the view back. Now I've crossed over the river Wansbeck, and this is the Wansbeck coming out to sea here, the mouth of it. There's the big caravan park over there, and away in the distance I can see the kind of church tower at Newbiggin. Further back I saw this sign saying the next little place they're coming to, Camas, and it said 3 mile away further back. What it didn't say was that for it to be 3 mile you have to actually swim across the Wansbeck. It doesn't take into account that you have to go a wee bit inland to cross over the bridge. Again, these signs leaving a wee bit to be desired as I'm making my way towards Camas. That's been a fascinating walk so far. That's one of these things when I say, right, I'll do the wee extra bit from Cresswell to Tynemouth. So I don't know why it just decides to finish at Cresswell. Might be to do with new county boundaries or something like that, but it's still always going to be Northumberland. But a few years ago I did the Cleveland Way, and they finished the Cleveland Way at Filey Brig, and then it's such a nice walk into Filey from Filey Brig anyway. So what I decided to do was do a wee extra bit of that. So the following day or the day later I decided to walk from Filey to Bridlington, just over 20 miles, and you're away up in the cliffs, Bempton Cliffs. Great views of the nesting birds up there, and then Thornwick Bay, just absolutely beautiful. And that extra day, it turned out to be the best day's walking I've ever done. The coastal part was even better than the coastal part of the Cleveland Way, but the Cleveland Way, nothing's ever going to beat that for me. Always feel as if it's going to be special. But I certainly enjoyed the Northumberland coast path, and I'm certainly enjoying today, and today's extra stage might turn out to be the most enjoyable day of them all. Now, a little decision, this is Camas Beach. Do I go down and walk the beach to Camas? Another coastal path is inland. I think I'm going to go for a wee beach walk, I think. I'm out onto Camas Beach, again looking back over the Wansbeck, where any new biggin. I'm walking up the beach this way, Blythe up there. According to the Google Maps, there's meant to be a pub just up here on the right hand side. If I can find that, I'm certainly going to make use of that. The bit about Camas, I thought if I'd gone the roadway and I saw the road sign, it's spelled C-A-M-B-O-I-S. Now, for me being not too bad at French, I'd naturally gone for Cambois. Other people might go for Camboys. It's actually Camas. Looking south, I think it's forecast later this afternoon to be showery. In fact, it was forecast at lunchtime. Not happened yet, so I'm enjoying the sunshine on the beach until such times as it does, and then we'll take cover in a pub, no doubt. As I'm walking along the beach at Camas, I just realised, looking at the map again, that pub is up on the road away up there somewhere, and I've gone past it. So there's temptation out the way, only for the moment. It won't last. Well, I've got a 2-mile inland walk from Camas to get to the bridge that crosses over the River Blythe. Well, I've done about a mile and a half, incredibly dull roadside walk, and here's the General Havelock. This is going to be pub number 1 today. I need a break. I don't have the car with me today, so no driving later on, so there might be a few pubs on the way. We'll see how it goes, but this is going to be pub number 1, the General Havelock. Right, this is pub number 1. This is the General Havelock in East Sleekburn. This is a pint of Amplified by Green King. Well, I like that one. Good start for the day. That's me coming out of East Sleekburn now, in the General Havelock there, and I was the first customer. Yeah, another 2 folk came in. Really enjoyed that though. Nice chat to different people in there. The only problem is it's given me a taste for it now. So how many pubs are we going to do in this trip? I don't know. There's a wee bit of rain started while I was in the pub. That was a good excuse for me. But we're carrying on now until we come to a bridge over the River Blythe, and then we'll probably get about another couple of miles going back into the coast towards Blythe anyway. Oh, it's a bit strange. I just looked at the map, and a little bridge I'll come across is the River Blythe, and then there's another bridge across the River Blythe further down. So 2 bits of the River Blythe merging into one. And I thought I was going to be walking further along the main road, but no, there's an England Coastal Path sign taking me through the woods here, and I come out the woods. Here is the River Blythe. That's the first bridge I've just come across. I'll get through the woods. I'm sure I've got another bridge to go. I'm still on the north side of the River Blythe, making my way to the second bridge, and there's the first glimpse of the coos today. I thought I was going in the field, but fortunately no, it's fenced off. We've got a wee lane to go down. Right girls, how we doing? I've come through a few fields and now come to the main part of the River Blythe. I don't know if that other tributary is called something else, but Google Maps said they're both called the River Blythe. There's the bigger part. On this occasion we have to go further inland to cross over, so we're carrying on round the fields again. I can now see the road bridge over the River Blythe, or the main bit of the river, and I think there's a pedestrian crossing further on. Not sure how far past that. I don't know if that's a railway crossing. There's another kind of bridge there. Maybe that's a pedestrian one just after it. It takes you high up. Oh, the second bridge. I think that's a railway bridge. I'm just heading along the path inland, wondering when the pedestrian bridge is going to come, or some sort of crossing. I've just had to turn around now. I thought there might have been a pedestrian crossing across the River Blythe. According to the signs it was saying England Coast Path, but it must take me way too far. I want to look at the England Coast Path website. It's taken me across the road bridge, so I'm just working my way back now to the road bridge. That's a bit disappointing. Well, we just picked up the signs again. Some signs missing, and we're walking across the road bridge now. Whoa, it's a bit busy with the traffic. I'm heading back out to the coast towards Blythe again. Again, the England Coastal Path signs sadly lacking. When you come across the bridge, the road bridge, you have to turn immediately to right and go back down the hill, but there's no signs saying that. You naturally just carry on walking. So I've got that wrong again. As I come under the bridge now, England Coast Path North, up there, England Coast Path South. All a bit strange. I'm thinking back what I did wrong now. When I came across the road bridge, I should have gone further on and come over the other side, and that would have led me to here. That's why the signs were missing. If I'd have gone on the seaside of the road bridge, I'd have been okay, but oh no, I'll take the short route. But again, it's a lack of signage, not particularly clear. Now we're definitely on the right path. Heading into Blythe on the south side of the River Blythe. Oh, I have to say, it doesn't look particularly scenic. It's a lot of mud flats. I'm looking over the River Blythe to the north side. That big green building, I passed there. That was over 2 hours ago. So it's taken me over 2 hours to walk inland, cross the River Blythe, back out again. I'm finally going to be heading south in a minute. And that time's not including this wee stop for the pub either. But I've seen a sign saying Tynemouth. It'll now be 11 miles to Tynemouth. So by my estimation, that's going to be in the region of about 25 miles today. I've been walking for 6 hours already. So all these inland inland routes are adding about 5 miles onto what I initially thought was going to be 20 miles. So it's a tough one, so that means I'm not going to have time to stop at numerous pubs as I thought I might do. We'll have to cut down on that and get cracking and get finished in Tynemouth. We'll get to the pub there. So I say a bit of a 25 miler today, so that's a biggie. Oh, it's been over 3 hours since I was last on the beach at Camas. Long inland incursion, the River Blythe, and then walking through Blythe. I finally found a spot to get back down onto the beach, and there's where the boats come out, the port of Blythe. Now we'll be walking down this way towards Seaton Sluice, Billy Bay, I think Whitley Bay is beyond the next headland. Probably got about 8 miles to go. I'm not doing it all on the beach. We checking Google Maps there. 3 hours, 8.5 miles. As I said, I'm not doing it all on the beach. The beach down here, Whitley Bay, and down towards Tynemouth. The road's way above the beach. And there's no way I can walk down to the beach because I'll never get back up again. Well, the beach walk didn't last too long, I just got fed up with it. I come up onto the prom and carry on down this way instead. Really, could have taken a shortcut, go right down to where the waves are, cut round the bay there. Well, this is Seaton Sluice, just as it started tipping it down. Probably just a brief shower. Got the jacket back on. Hopefully not last for too long, see if we can get a bit of shelter soon. I'm back out in the walk again. After stopping in that shelter down there in Seaton Sluice. I was absolutely chucking it down for a wee bit, but it's gone off now. There's a look. All the boats and the moored in there as it goes out to sea. I'll tell you what, there's some amount of pubs in Seaton Sluice. I might have to come here one time and just do a wee pub crawl, stay in Seaton Sluice. I just don't have time for them on this walk. That's a shame. There's a signpost, England Coast Path, Tynemouth 5.5 miles. And we carry on. A bit of an endurance test. These 2 questions. 1, will we make it to Tynemouth? And 2, if we do, which part of my legs is going to hurt the most? Around the next headland. It is Whitley Bay. You see that big dome building, it was the Spanish city. It used to be a big fairground there. Not much beach left, the tide's relatively far in. We'll be heading down this way, across. Get the cheesy chips in Whitley Bay. And stop after that. I think it's about another 2-3 miles to Tynemouth after that. Just approaching the centre of Whitley Bay. There's the Spanish city building. It's very impressive. One of the main streets there. I'm looking out for my cheesy chips. Lots of cheesy chips, just been devoured. They're coming out of Whitley Bay now. I look back down the beach and that St Mary's Lighthouse away in the distance now. It actually seems quite a walk from there into Whitley Bay itself. 2.8 miles to go, 55 minutes according to Google Maps. On the first view of Tynemouth Castle, finishing point away over there. Get colour coats first, around past there, into Tynemouth itself. Probably a couple of miles to go. And this is where I have to evoke the Speedo Mick inspiration. If you've never heard of Speedo Mick, look him up. Man's walking achievements are just incredible. What a top man, met him a couple of times. So whenever I'm feeling raw, I'm knackered, Speedo Mick, he's the man. Looking over the beach towards Tynemouth Castle. It's actually quite busy in the beach. It's about 7:30. I think it must be all the school folk have just finished. Maybe having a wee celebration on the beach, who knows. Oh, there's the Tynemouth sign. Oh, I still got a bit to go though. I'm looking over the Tynemouth Castle and look at that building. Bit of Art Deco. Looks terrific that. This is the last bit of the beach on the Northumberland coast path and the finishing line at the castle there. I'm just coming around the corner. Oh, weather forecast today, meant to be thundery showers. I had one shower lasting a minute and another one lasting 5 minutes. And coming in here just after 7:30 at night into Tynemouth, and it's just been a glorious evening. Well, I made it to the finish at Tynemouth Castle. Oh, 25 miles plus, over 10 hours of walking today. End of the coast path, as the River Tyne going out into the sea there. And looking back down here, that'll be the end of the coast path. We'll take a walk down and actually have a look. there's the end of the coast path. So I'm sitting on the castle walls having a look down. I said 25 miles today. I originally thought it was going to be about 20. I didn't take into account how far inland it goes over the River Blythe. That took a long time from Camas and then getting to Blythe itself. Tremendously varied walk today, starting off with a couple of beach walks. Really nice to, as I said, I got to Camas and then walking inland and then coming back again. I really enjoyed the rest of the walk after coming out of Blythe. And you come down through Seaton Sluice, Whitley Bay, Cullercoats and then into Tynemouth itself. Great finish to the walk. So in addition to the finish of today's stage, it's the finish of the Northumberland coast path itself. Although it officially ends in Cresswell, I see it as officially ending in Tynemouth. Well, what did I say about the walk? Probably about 95 miles I've done. I would probably have split it into smaller sections if I could have done, but trying to fit it in the number of days I had available. So the first day I did a wee bit longer, so because the weather wasn't so great, in the second day in the afternoon. But the first day coming out of Berwick, really enjoyed that. And then, but the big problem is, it takes you inland again after coming near the causeway to Lindisfarne. And there's too much inland stuff, and it's only when you get a few miles into day 2 that you come back out onto Boodle Bay and you come back on the coast again. And from then on in, it's just been excellent. Still not as good as the Cleveland Way for me, which will never be beaten anyway, but I can thoroughly recommend the Northumberland coast path. So that's the end of the Northumberland coast path. I've got a series of walks, should come into 5 videos. Then after that I'll be back onto the Wales coastal path, probably in a few months time, back down to Aberystwyth to carry on the next stage of it. So here endeth the Northumberland coast path. All that remains is the pub. And this is the Tuck's Head in Tynemouth. We're going to celebrate. We're in the Tuck's Head here in Tynemouth, celebrating the end of the Northumberland coastal path, the end of stage 5 today from Cresswell to Tynemouth, and the end of the path itself, Northumberland coast path from Berwick and for me down to Tynemouth. And this is a pint of Tiny Rebel. It's juicy tropical golden ale. Let's go. Oh, that's cracking. So thanks anybody for watching. See you on the next one.